جامعة حلب، كلية الشريعة، السنة الأولى. كتاب اللغة الإنكليزية، الوحدة السادسة. يغطي هذا التسجيل الصفحات 109 وحتى 115 بصوت المتطوعة يمنى التخين. Ecotourism. Focus on the topic. Predicting. Discuss these questions. 1. Where is Antarctica? 2. What kind of people travel to Antarctica? 3. What would it be like to live there? B. Sharing information. Answer these questions. 1. Describe a place that you have visited that had lots of natural beauty, trees, mountains, an ocean, and so on. 2. What wild animals have you seen in their natural environment? 3. What is the coldest place you have ever visited? How cold was it? C. Preparing to read. Background. Antarctica is one of the world's continents. How much do you know about this place? Answer these questions. 1. About. The options الخيارات A. 25%, B. 50%, C. 75%, D. 98% of Antarctica's land is covered with ice. 2. Antarctica is classified as the options خيارات A. A desert, B. A rainforest, C. An ocean, D. A tundra. 3. Antarctica is the الخيارات the coldest, the windiest, the driest, or all these options. Continent. 4. Antarctica is the home of animals and birds including the خيارات eagle, bear, dodo, or penguin. 5. Most of the people in Antarctica are A. Skiers, B. Scientists, C. Tourists, D. Antarcticans. Vocabulary of comprehension. Guess what the underlined words means and say if that's right or wrong. True or false. Number 1. The tourists were visiting 3 main cities during their travels in Italy, Rome, Florence, and Naples. Now, the tourists means were people who were working in Italy. That's a true or false. Number 2. The desert landscape is very flat. Landscape means the way the land looks. That's a true or false. 3. We must perceive the rainforest because it's the home of many birds that cannot live anywhere else. Perceive means it would be good to cut down the rainforest now so we can use the wood. That's a true or false. 4. The ozone hole may be dangerous to people who live on the earth, so it's a hole in the ozone layer. So the ozone hole is made of gases that protect the earth from the bad effects of the sun. That's a true or false. 5. Some scientists believe that a global warming will cause the ice of Antarctica to melt. So global warming means the earth will become too hot. That's a true or false. 6. The island is inhabited only by birds. Inhabited means all kinds of animals live there. That's a true or false. Number 7. The highest mountain in the world is Mount Everest. I don't know how people can go there because it's such a harsh place. Harsh means it's really quite comfortable. That's a true or false. 8. Next summer, I'm going to travel to a very remote part of Asia. It will take a long time to get there, but I want to go to a place where few visitors have gone. Remote means this is a place that's easy to get to from the big city. That's a true or false. 9. His wife said, think about the consequences if you lose your job. Consequences means she might want her husband to think about not having any money to pay the bills of the family. That's a true or false. Number 10. The coastal cities of a country are often popular vacation spots because people like to be near the ocean. Coastal means these places are often in the center of the country. That's a true or false. 11. The oceans of the world are vast places of water. Vast means the oceans are smaller than other places of water. That's a true or false. Number 12. The ice on the pond was fragile, so the children couldn't ice skate. Fragile mean the ice could break easily. That's a true or false. 2. Focus on reading. A. Reading 1. Tourists in a fragile land. You are going to listen an essay about tourism in Antarctica. The essay was written by a scientist who works there. What do you think his opinion will be? Choose one. A. Tourists should not visit Antarctica because they may cause problems. B. Tourists should visit Antarctica because there is not much for them to learn. C. Tourists to Antarctica should pay a special tax to help scientists with their work there. Now, listen carefully. Tourists in a fragile land. Chapter 1. As a scientist working in Antarctica, I spend most of my time in the lab studying ice. I'm trying to find out the age of Antarctica ice. All we know for certain is that it's the coldest and oldest ice in the world. The more we understand it, the more we will understand the changing weather of the Earth. Today, as with an increasing number of days, I had to leave my work to greet a group of tourists who were taking a vacation in this continent of ice. And although I can appreciate their desire to experience this beautiful landscape, I feel Antarctica should be closed to tourists. Chapter 2. Antarctica is the center of important scientific research, and it must be preserved for this purpose. Meteorologists are now looking at the effects of the ozone hole that was discovered above Antarctica in 1984. They are also trying to understand global warming. If the Earth's temperature continues to increase, the health and safety of every living thing on the planet will be affected. Astronomers have a unique view of space and are able to see it very clearly from Antarctica. Biologists have a chance to learn more about the animals that inhabit in frozen land. Botanists study the plant's life to understand how it can live in such a harsh environment. And geologists study the Earth to learn more about how it was formed. There are even psychologists who study how people behave when they live and work together in such a remote location. Chapter 3. When tourist groups come here, they take us away from our research. Our work is difficult, and some of our projects can be damaged by such as simple mistakes or opening the wrong door or bumping into a small piece of equipment. In addition, tourists in Antarctica can also hurt the environment. Members of Greenpeace, one of the world's leading environmental organizations, complaining that tourists leave trash on beaches and disturb the plants and animals. In a place as frozen as Antarctica, it can take 100 years for a plant to grow back, and tourists taking pictures of baby penguins may not pay close attention to what their feet are stepping on. Oil spills are another problem caused by tourism. In 1989, one cruise ship caused an oil spill that killed many penguins and destroyed a 5-year scientific project. Chapter 4. The need to protect Antarctica from tourists becomes even greater when we consider the fact that there is no government here. Antarctica belongs to no country. Who's making sure that the penguins, plants, and sea are safe? No one is responsible. In fact, we scientists are only temporary visitors ourselves. It's true that the number of tourists who visit Antarctica each year is small compared to another number of those who visit other places. However, these other places are inhabited by local residents and controlled by local environments and government. They have an interest to protecting their natural environment. Who is considered about the environment of Antarctica? The scientists, to be sure, but not necessarily the tour companies that make money from spending people south. Chapter 5. If we don't protect Antarctica from tourism, there may be serious consequences for us all. The ice of Antarctica holds 70% of the world's fresh water. If this ice melts, ocean levels could rise 200 feet and flood the coastal cities of the earth. Also, the continent's vast fields of ice provide natural air condition for our planet. They keep the earth from getting too hot as they reflect sunlight back into space. Clearly, Antarctica should remain a place for careful and controlled scientific research. We cannot allow tourism to bring possible danger to the planet. The only way to protect this fragile and important part of the planet is to stop tourists from traveling to Antarctica. Now, reading for main ideas. Number the following main ideas in the order they appear in the reading 1. Antarctica has no government. The entire world may be affected by problems in Antarctica. Many different scientists learn new things by studying Antarctica. Reading for details. 1. Complete the following outline with details from reading 1. 1. Scientists learn new things in Antarctica because it's different from other places. A. فراغ, ice in the world. B. Unique فراغ of space. C. Very فراغ environment. 2. Problems in Antarctica may affect the world. B. Large فراغ above Antarctica. B. Ice فراغ percent of Earth's fresh water. C. فراغ Earth's air conditioner. Two. The following statements are false or incomplete. Rewrite them according to reading 1 so that they are true and complete. For example, number 1. The writer of the essay knows the age of Antarctic ice. This is false sentence. We will rewrite it and we will say, the writer of the essay is trying to find out the edge of Antarctica ice. Number 2. The writer wants Antarctica to be closed. Number 3. Psychologists study how people behave when they get lost in Antarctica. Number 4. The oil spill caused by a cruise ship killed many scientists. Number 5. Tour companies may be considered about the environment of Antarctica. 6. If you stop tourism in Antarctica, there may be consequences for tour companies. 7. The ice of Antarctica attracts sunlight and heats the earth. Now, reacting to the reading. The scientist uses details to make his opinion essay more interesting. Now, listen to these statements and try to choose the right answer. 1. The tourists enjoy Antarctica because of its A. Beautiful landscape, or B. Because its unique view of space. Choose A or B. Number 2. One problem with tourists who visit scientists is that they may A. Ask too many questions, B. Do too much research. Number 3. Another problem with tourists is that they may A. Leave trash on beaches, B. Eat penguin eggs. 4. The time that a scientist spends in Antarctica is always A. Difficult, B. Limited. 5. Other tourist places in the world are controlled by local people who want to A. Take care of their local environment, B. Destroy natural beauty. 6. If tourism continues in Antarctica, people who live near oceans may be affected by A. Bad weather, B. Flooding. Number 2. Discuss these questions. 1. If you were a scientist in Antarctica, how would you feel about tourists? Explain. 2. Can you find any weakness in the writer's opinion? Do you agree with everything he says? How much do you agree with him? Thank you so much for listening to us. Best regards.